Still do have, you told me, I don't go in that email because you hijacked the email, and then when you took it back.
I didn't hijack it, it belongs to the borough.
It doesn't belong to the borough.
Yes,
and I'm not
going
to argue with you about it, Pat. I mean,
Paula, don't argue about nothing.
No, I'm not.
Let's take care of business tonight.
Hey, John.
like I said, I'm going to file a Sunshine Act because if there was an executive session or we were meeting with Alex today, I was not notified. And you have to make sure that all of council is notified, and I wasn't notified.
Well, we have to meet right
and
now, Alex.
in the
You're
email, it don't matter. I wasn't notified. I'm here for the council meeting.
You were emailed.
All right.
Email don't mean nothing, Paula. You're supposed to call the council people too. It's not all email. You're supposed to notify and make sure that the council people know 24 hours before the meeting that they're in the meeting.
It was advertised.
You're still supposed to notify council.
We notified everybody.
You didn't notify, and no you
Yes, we
didn't,
did.
Freddie. No you didn't.
Yes,
You
we
did
did.
not notify everybody, Freddie. And I'm not going to argue about it. Y'all didn't notify anybody, so I'm just going to take action, that's all.
All right, we got to start the card.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order of business will be our engineer.
Can do a roll call for the special.
Okay, I will just highlight quickly some of the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we do a roll call?
Okay, roll call for the council meeting. Mike Blue. Pat Williams here. Fred Lesher here. Massa here. John McBlain.
Here.
Martha here. Paul.
I'm here.
Paula. Alex. Rodriguez. Alex.
Here.
Tonette here. Jesse.
Here.
Okay. So now, just sit and wait. Now Alex will take over.
I'm just going to provide a quick and brief overview for council and the public about the CDBG funding projects for 2015. The borough advertised today's meeting in the Delaware County Daily Times in the paper on December 2nd, 2014. I have a copy of the proof of publication in my hands here. I also have a copy of the CDBG eligible area for the borough of Colwyn. As a general description, everything that is north of Ellis Avenue and east of 4th Street. So in that northeast
Can you give him the respect, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So in that northeast quadrant of Colwyn Borough, that is north of Ellis Avenue and east of 4th Street, that whole area is the CDBG eligible area, according to the Delaware County Planning Department. The CDBG funding has activities that they consider eligible and some that are considered ineligible. To go over just some of the eligible type of CDBG activities, they approve and allow funding for public facilities and improvements, which include construction, reconstruction, rehabilitation, or installation. It also allows for the acquisition and disposition of real property. It allows for public services, including but not limited to employment services to the homeless or elderly, crime prevention, child care, health, drug abuse, education, fair housing, counseling, energy conservation, It allows for code enforcement concentrated in deteriorated or deteriorating neighborhoods where such enforcement is necessary. Also allows for planning activities, historic preservations, and clearance and remediation, including brownfields. So the purpose of tonight's meeting is to obtain public participation and any input from the public as far as what they feel is a project that is suitable and meets the CDBG guidelines, and then for council also to have discussion and further ideas of what they would consider something that they would like to apply for. I believe the application, the county allows one application per municipality.
Well, it may be in one application form, but I think that they allow you to make a request for multiple projects. I think they ask you to prioritize. Given the allocation for the CDBG program, you won't typically find a municipality getting more than one project funded. Obviously that depends upon the amount of money that you're asking for, perhaps the size of the municipality. I mean, you might have for instance, say a Ridley Township may have 2 projects, but they have 15 times the population that Colwyn has. So I would expect, if we were to get a project funded, it would probably be for one project, depending on what you're asking for.
Okay. So I guess at this point, Madam President, if you would like to either initiate any comments for public participation on ideas, or if you can counsel.
Is there any public comment for the engineer?
First of all, I didn't hear a thing that was being said. I don't know if she did or not.
No, I didn't hear it.
Didn't hear a thing. I guess you're talking about the bus depot.
No,
Not
that's
yet? Okay, I don't know what you.
like the Colwyn Swim Club area along the creek. There's wetlands, back a little bit, that area there, we got, the borough last year, I guess it was last November, bought the property for $1, and what I think Alex wants to do is, what he discussed with me was that he wanted to take care of some of the dangers up at the swim pool, and I also talked to him about the basketball courts. And that was just about it, and how that can be incorporated with the common comments and stuff like that. And there's no basketball court on the south side of the bridge, and that's a centrally located place for the kids on the outside of, on the south side of the bridge to play, because they can't play basketball in my neighborhood on Water Street because it's too far from home.
Isn't there one behind the ball field?
There's, the one behind the ball fields is beat up. It never was used. It was when they did the planning for that, they didn't plan well for that, because it was all the way in the back, and it's like you got to walk all the way into the back, and it was basically too far.
I got a question for the engineer.
Well, so you want to let the swim
cover that?
I don't know, because filling it in and all is a lot of expense, and then you gotta have certain types of stuff.
We're getting a grant. It's not going to cost. It's not going to cost. It's not. I don't know if we have to match, but we're getting a grant, and it's coming from the county through the community block development grant, and we're here to try to get free money. That's what we're here to try to do. I think that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. And that's a good thing. So that's what we're here for. We got a problem there, a liability problem that needs to be addressed ASAP, and that's what I think, we got to do. We just can't leave it wide open the way it is, because we got a liability problem. And that's all I know about.
What it is, Madam President and the engineer are just trying to take ideas from the audience.
Okay.
For the block grants on any project that we think the audience would suggest to us as council, and the engineer would be beneficial.
We just didn't hear, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So,
I would love to speak on that if I can.
Go ahead.
I know you was talking about covering it up, right?
Well, I mean, there's just all kind. I mean, any idea that we want to bring up to the table is perfectly well for tonight's
the only thing that.
But we have to. when we come up with, let's say, some ideas about if we wanted to try the swim club as an example, the first thing we're going to do is maybe solidify some of the scope of work type of things that we want to do. But then we really have to kind of prepare a quick budget. And I think the solicitor, John McBlain, has a lot of experience from at the county level, but the county has received so many applications each year on these grants that, you know, they had to be very selective, and they want to see, you know, a project that they feel is a very, you know, worthy, grant-worthy type of project. And at the same time, they have only limited amount of money that they have to try to distribute to as many communities as they can. So the funding, I mean, maybe to exaggerate, maybe you have a better idea, but let's say we came up with an idea was maybe $2 or $3 million. The county is not going to be able to just simply support one grant of that amount and leave everybody out of, you know, out of approval. So there's a balance of trying to see if we come up with a reasonable amount of funding that we feel that the county would have available to support, and the idea has to be something that we also hope that they feel is worthy for granting. So after we come up with an idea, we then need to try to come up with a budget. We may have to refine that down a little bit, or maybe we have room to expand it a little bit, but not necessarily our entire idea that we maybe decide on may not be able to, you know, proceed forward, because if we come up with something that costs too much money, we're going to have to reduce that scope. But so right now it's open to, you know, can we fill in the pools, for example, as part of that, you know, improving the safety of that, relocating and replacing the fence for the security of trying to secure the entire property, possibly. One of my understandings was that
it's sore thumbs, you know, sticking out, just waiting for an accident.
It's waiting for an accident to happen, right? And then,
Alex, can we put that swim pool in, I mean, the total project for the swim club? They're going to give, the county's going to give us X amount of dollars. Let's say they gave us, let's use a round number, $50,000, right? And put that in as a total project, and fill the pools in and enhance the recreational facilities down there for the, you know, something for the kids to do to get them off the street, because I think that's where the mayor's coming from.
right.
You know, and we'll use 50,000, whatever we can use, you know, we'll use 50,000. If we run out of money, so be it. At least we'll get something done down there. We can fill the pools in, we can enhance the recreational activities down there.
Right.
I think that's a good idea, and that's what Freddie's coming from too.
Well, Fred had, I thought, an excellent idea with the idea that there's a lower part of that swim club area where there's an existing basketball court.
Yeah,
blacktop.
Basketball at the bottom. It's like a two-tier project. The pools are up top, and you come down a little bit. The basketball courts are down the bottom.
Right. So,
you know.
But right now that would be right. The location is behind the existing gated area. So, so in order to try to, you know, kill two birds with one stone, if we want to secure that swim club, but yet provide that, you know, there's an area where we can maybe split that parking lot.
There you go.
Open it up to the park.
Open it up so that the basketball court is going to stay open to the lower part. So it kind of like involves relocating and replacing some of the fence there, so we have the basketball facility.
Whatever.
We can improve it, but not have it in a
I
lot.
thought down from there, you got a place for a basketball, Fred.
Yeah.
You got a place where a basketball goal used to be, and then you got a tennis court down there.
Yeah.
Why can't we just take that and make it out of a basketball court, because you already got the black top down there?
Right. That's
Why
what I'm
can't you
saying.
do that?
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to them.
But we're going to relocate the fence at the same time, so that way that would be accessible to the public without having somebody need to open up the gate. And because you want to try to keep the rest of it secured in case we don't have enough funding on this initial go-around to fill in the pools, we still got to secure that property from prevent anybody building.
And I don't know, none of the common comments are here, but I do see the guys up on the corner once in a while, and they kind of like what's happening, and I explained to some of them about putting the basketball court there, and they said that if it was there, handy near their little house that they got there, they would probably use it, maybe put a league in there also, along with the lady that was the basketball coach for Penwood. I forget what her name is, but.
And then the other thing that could tie in a little bit is right now, if I'm understanding correctly, the borough doesn't have any public yard at all. is what I heard.
No, there's no public yard.
So, I
Public
mean,
yard where?
within the borough. The borough doesn't have any.
Municipal yard, there is
You
none.
know,
Putting-
for
like if you need to put
salt, stuff like that.
Storage.
We had a problem today with that.
So if you don't have an area, we can also slowly try to
Yeah,
consider, incorporating that within
I
the
know
old swim
that
club area. too.
lower end may be in the floodplain.
It would be on the upper end.
Yeah, okay.
Because the lower end
Yeah.
would be where the basketball courts
Right, right.
would be, and then the upper end could be possibly as a public yard.
Yeah, I know, when they redid that, yeah.
Closer to the, near the
Yeah.
swim club.
So maybe we can with the next few rounds, in a few, 2 or 3 years of CDBG, we can try to focus on grants to help kind of get the whole
There you
area.
go. It's a good area down there. It's a lucrative area, I mean, you got the swim club, you got the field, you got the parking lot, you got everything. You got the recyclables down there, which I get down there 3 or 4 days a week. It's good down there. It's a nice area, John.
So, Madam President, I think you've entertained comments from the public and the council. I know we had discussion last week at the committee meeting regarding potential prioritization of the project. So, if there's no further comments, it would be proper to adjourn this meeting. I know during during our regular council meeting, I believe there's a proposed resolution to submit the CDBG application with identifying the swim club project as the priority grant.
Okay. But I did have a question. I'll ask you.
So if there weren't any further comments or questions regarding the CDBG project, then it would be proper to adjourn the special hearing on the CDBG, and then we would begin the regular council meeting. And for Ms. Jackson's purposes, we're keeping separate minutes of the special meeting for CDBG and then the regular council meeting.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the CDBG?
I'll make that motion.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?